Hamza, what are you talking about? Today I will be reacting to a very popular YouTube channel, Hamza. He talks about men's self-improvement, so I figured I'd hop into one of his videos, give my honest feedback of his work, and critique some of the things that I personally disagree with. So let's get into it. What is up? Welcome back to The Sophisticated Man. I am Tino Regano, men's lifestyle coach, helping guys like you become the most confident, fulfilled, and attractive versions of yourself. I'm not making this video to publicly shit on Hamza and his videos. I actually genuinely like his channel. I just discovered him, I think, about 4 or so months ago, and he has amazing content. I agree with a lot of the points that he makes. However, there was one video that I wanted to give my 2 cents on that I kind of disagree with. It's titled, "Do not abandon your friends." So less talking, let's get right into the video and react to it.
Your Jeffrey friends need you. You remember those motherfuckers that you grew up with who play video games and do all the bad habits? They saw you get onto self-improvement and you might have noticed maybe some jealousy, some resentment, some hatred towards you because you started going to the gym and meditating and doing all this weird stuff that took you away from the instant gratification activities that they're all addicted to. And so it's so easy for us to say to abandon your Jeffrey friends. You've probably taken a big step back from that original friendship group and that might have been good for you, but they need you. And the superior man, the man like Adonis, helps his brothers. Just look at those spurgs. They're kind of cute, aren't they?
So I can 1000% relate to this. You know, anytime that you get on your self-improvement journey, you start making your life better in really any way that you see fit, you're gonna have people start to resent you or hate you or become jealous of you, especially the people that are close to you. For me, you know, all the friends that I had in high school, even college to some point, I think everybody still has a certain idea of who Tino is, and that's just from their past experiences of me. When you start to put in the action to improve your life, you're gonna have people come at you or maybe quietly resent and become jealous of what you're doing, because that is kind of showing them, damn, like I'm not even really on my grind yet. It's a reflection of what they failed to do.
Adonis, of course, helps his tribe grow. Even the weakest link of the tribe, the Jeffrey of the tribe, gets Adonis's attention. For Adonis knows that your success in leadership is measured by your bottom line, not by the top. I've had 2 stages in my life where I've kind of abandoned previous friends. The first was in the transition from high school to college, about age 16 to 17, when I used to play video games. And when I started weightlifting, I simply had less time to play video games. Eventually, I started attracting girls, getting more confident, and I started going out and drinking. And so I completely just lost touch with my original group of friends that I used to play League of Legends with. Fast forward a few years and I have a poppin' social circle inside of the degenerate party scene. And that's when I'm hit with an existential crisis because I'm tired of being a fucking loser. I'm tired of drinking half a liter of vodka before we go out to drink. Like, if you're not from the UK, you might not know that this is a thing. We drink before we go out to drink. How fucking weird is that? We're crackheads here. And this is like crackhead drinking, bro. Imagine buying the liter of vodka bottle for you and your friends. The bottle's like this big for £20, like $25. And you and your one friend drink it before you go out to drink. I mean, there were some fun times. We'd be drinking whilst both of us had gaming PCs, so we'd be on Fortnite, just dropping kids and sniping and shit. So obviously it was fun. But then
again, something else I could totally relate to. I had similar friends where we would pre-game before we go out, crush a whole bottle before we even get to the club or the bar that we were going to that night, and we would just get there and act a fool and try to chase girls around and do all these dumb, just honestly wasteful activities. Now at the time they were fun because I was kind of at the same point as all these guys, but once I started to realize that I wanted more for myself and I wanted more for my life, these activities then became more of a distraction and things that weren't going to help me move forward with my goals. So I urge you to become more aware of your surroundings. Are you around friends that are into maybe doing excessive drugs, excessive partying, chasing girls around? If that stuff is not who is congruent with the kind of man that you want to be, you have to take steps to separate yourself from that people, which is where I kind of disagree with Hamza. I understand what he's saying by, bringing people up with you and helping others out. I've said that on my channel before. Masculinity is generative. It wants to help and help others grow like you are growing. But at the end of the day, the reality is not everyone is going to take that step with you. Sometimes people are stuck in their ways and they're not willing to meet you halfway.
And I got dreams of entrepreneurship, doing something with my life and wanting to level up my physique. And so I took a step back from that. I left those friends behind too. I think I did make the right decision, but perhaps I could have went about it in a way that showed more character and made me take more responsibility. I could have tried to help my friends more. You might be watching this video and thinking, no, you don't have to take responsibility of the Jeffrey friends. And the truth is, you don't have to. Lesser men won't. You must decide what kind of man you want to become. You've already started making progress away from being a Jeffrey, and that's fantastic. So now you're a normal guy. Congratulations. You're average. Maybe you're a little bit above average. Nice. If you want to stop there, then I mean, you can. I'm not going to respect you. You're probably not going to respect yourself, but you can stop.
So I understand his point, but again, like speaking from my own experience, I have had a lot of friends where I tried to help them out. I tried to put them on self-improvement, try to get them to read books, try to get them to come to the gym with me, try to get them to start eating better, start sleeping better, start having more positive habits in their life, start to focus on the things that they need to in life. As masculine men, we are focused on our goals. But if you're really trying to help people that do not want to help themselves, you will eventually burn out, and that is going to drain your own energy. You have to be very protective of who you're allowing into your circle. And that's okay. I'm not saying to resent these friends or to make fun of them or maybe even completely cut them out in some scenarios, but you have to limit some of the time you spend with people that are not on the same journey as you. Because trust me, take it from my own experience, if you are putting in all this effort and all this energy into somebody and they are not reciprocating that energy, they are not putting in the work like you are putting in the effort to make them better. If you are more excited about somebody else's growth and their potential than they are excited about their own growth and potential, man, that's a problem. And I hope they get the help, but sometimes you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make them drink it. And so this is the point that I'm stating to Hamza's point here.
Or we can progress to be more like Adonis. And do you remember Adonis's 5 principles? The last principle, and perhaps the most important one in this context, was the principle of leadership. That once you become disciplined and you've had a student mindset and you're present and grateful and you've made great progress in your self-improvement, now is the time to lead your boys to go through the same process that you've been through. That's truly where the biggest growth comes from. Imagine where I would be right now. Imagine where I would be if I didn't make this YouTube channel. If I was just doing my self-improvements alone, invisible to the world. Truly imagine this right now. Like you probably know a lot about my story, my life. Imagine if I just stayed low-key as you might be doing, and I never made this channel to try and lead other people. What you are watching right now and what you have been watching for a little while is my practice of leveling up my leadership so that I can be more like Adonis. And think about how much that this has changed my life. Think about how much this has increased my self-improvement. I've taken on more responsibility by doing this. And of course it's hard at times, but think about how rewarding it's been for me. Perhaps it's time for you. Perhaps it's your turn. Do not abandon your Jeffrey friends. If you are currently linked with them right now, I guarantee at least one of them would take your advice. One of them would follow your leadership if you go about it the right way. You have been in their position. You've been addicted to the same substances as them. And whether they've said it or not, at least one of those guys looks up to you. He's seen the progress that you've made. He just might not have the confidence to kind of, message you and tell you that he's proud of you, but he probably does feel it. So congratulations, you've climbed to the top of the bucket. Nice. So what are you going to do? Are you just going to jump off the bucket and go live your life alone? Or are you going to turn back around and reach your hand out and grab those little crabs at the bottom and bring them up? You've heard the analogy, like your bad friends are the bottom of the bucket crabs who pull you down. But why don't you be the opposite of that? Why don't you stand at the top of the bucket and pull your friends up? You know exactly what you must do. You know exactly which habits would help your friends the most. Perhaps you're just uncertain how to go about actually leading them and talking in a way that would get them to follow your influence, because that's actually kind of tricky.
And I've used this analogy before on my videos of the crabs in the bucket, where they're at the bottom trying to pull you down with the more that you ascend. And I appreciate Hamza's perspective on this when you're above that, trying to pull people up with you. And I would agree with that. But again, from my own experience, the friends that I have personally had, I've tried it all. And I've heard them all tell me, oh, like, you're really inspirational. I look up to you. I've actually got verbal feedback from friends telling me that I inspire them. They want to do better because of me. And I said, all right, well, let's go. Let's actually move forward. I don't really lead too much. At least this is my personal leadership style. I like to lead by example. If I'm doing this, then I want you to follow suit if you think that what I'm doing is going to help you, it's going to benefit you. And I want to stay on my point that if you continually try to change somebody's behaviors, but they are unwilling to meet you halfway, they're unwilling to actually change with you and for themselves, it is a wasted time in my opinion. I'm a big believer that we all have to be our own saviors in life. Sure, we can have support. Sure, we can have people around us to help hold us up. At the end of the day, you are the one that takes the action and makes the change. Somebody is not going to do it for you.
Right now you have a low level in the leadership skill, but it doesn't have to stay like that. To level up your leadership skill, just like everything else, you have to start with education, learn more about leadership, read books on leadership. The book Extreme Ownership by Jocko Willink, and also all books by John C. Maxwell are fantastic for this. Imagine like a complete nerd who's never been to the gym before, and then one of his nerd friends goes to the gym for 3 months, compared to Ronnie Coleman. Out of the nerd who went to the gym for 3 months and Ronnie Coleman, who's going to give this nerd better advice, more accurate, relatable advice? Of course, the other nerd. You only need to be one step in front of other people to lead them. So exactly where you are right now is the right time to start leading. And perhaps the only reason you've held off on this is because you don't feel like it.
I mean, he makes a great point, and like maybe everybody's leadership style is different, but I know for myself, I typically like to just lead by example. I'll do this, I'll show up in the best way for myself. You can come along board with me, but if you're not willing to do that, then that's okay. Maybe we're not the greatest fit for each other. If they're not putting in the work, if they're not actually trying to help themselves, then you'd be doing a disservice to yourself and to that other person by constantly trying to improve and change something that they are not willing to do themselves. That's just my 2 cents on it. That is my opinion. I think it is much better to just help the people that are also willing to help themselves. Not everybody is a good fit for your lifestyle and where you're heading in life. Not everyone is meant to be in your life forever. And that's friends, that's family, that's women, that's whoever. The more times you try to battle and fight them to change and they're not willing to budge, they're not trying to go on this journey with you, well, there's really not much that you can do, even if you're the best leader that you could possibly be. If you enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up and comment your thoughts below. Do you agree with me or do you agree with Hamza? There's no right or wrong answer. This is just my perspective. Let me know what you think down below, and also let me know what more topics and subjects you want me to cover more of on this channel moving forward. Make sure you subscribe and hit that notification bell if you haven't done so yet. And also make sure you join my community of like-minded men who are looking to work on themselves and take their personal development seriously this year. Click the link down below to join my free Facebook group of men who are focused on their personal development. So that's pretty much it, man. I don't 100% disagree with Hamza. He makes some very, very good points in this video. Again, I love his channel. However, I think that if you're a guy who is really improving himself and you notice the people around you are not trying to help themselves, they are in a victim mindset, they are not self-sufficient, they are not trying to make their lives better, and in that scenario, and I've noticed it in my life, you can't help the people that are not willing to help themselves. And I'm not saying I am perfect by any means, but you have to see continual effort on the other person's side. They have to be willing and ready to receive that help. So with that being said, man, hope you have an incredible rest of your day. Remember, everything truly does start with you. Peace out, man.